So we come to the question, if the world was broken into continents at the time of the flood, how did animals and people get to all the continents? Here's two drawings side by side. One, what the pre-flood world probably looked like. That's all the continents of the world smushed, technical term, together, versus the post-flood where the continents are broken up as we know them to be today. Evolutionists subscribe to continental drift, wherein the land slowly separated and just drifted apart with the peoples and animals on board, so to speak. Most creationists believe the continents were formed when the great fountains of the deep broke up and separated the land at the time of Noah's flood. Many people instantly think land animals could not have walked to Australia or North and South America from the Middle East where Noah's Ark landed. The event of the Ice Age is very important here. During the Ice Age, a lot of water was taken out of the oceans and accumulated on the land in the form of ice and snow. Most think that the ocean level dropped by about 350 feet. This drop would expose land bridges in different places throughout the world. Regarding land bridges, here's a drawing of what would happen, for instance, between Alaska and Russia, Siberia, if the depth of the ocean dropped by 350 feet. Easily, animals and people could cross through this section. And another one from Answers in Genesis. Remember that Noah and his sons built the ark, and it survived the global flood. Noah lived 350 years after the flood, and Shem lived 500 years after the flood. So they could have easily shared how to build some pretty neat ships. Maybe people could have traveled by boat to the Americas, Australia, Madagascar, and other places, possibly taking animals with them. Animals probably propagated on the ark. This is nothing more than common sense. When you house male and female anythings in close quarters, you're going to have offspring. By the time Noah opened the ark doors, there may well have been many more animals on board than aborted originally. This is almost without a doubt. Genesis 8:20, Then Noah built an altar to the Lord and took of every clean animal and of every clean bird and offered burnt offerings on the altar. Burnt offerings. Later, when God gives Moses the law, mankind will understand that burnt offerings are indicative of being wholly devoted to God. After all, if you are totally consumed for God, it can hardly be argued that you are not all in. The Lord smelled this soothing aroma, and the Lord said to himself, I will never again curse the ground on account of man, for the intent of man's heart is evil from his youth, and I will never again destroy every living thing as I have done. While the earth remains, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. Please note that God did not say he would never destroy the earth again. He said, I will never again destroy every living thing as I have done. Maybe the phrase caught your eye as we read from Genesis chapter 8, while the earth remains. When God uses that phrase, is it not abundantly clear that there will be an end to the earth as we know it? Why else use that phrase? If the earth is never going to end, why would he speak this way? Sadly, even the universal judgment of the flood did not cause mankind to change. Sin was in the DNA of Noah and his sons, and sin would take root again and grow. While God will never again cause a worldwide flood to deal with sin, he will still deal with it. He must. 2 Peter 3:10, But the day of the Lord will come like a thief, in which the heavens will pass away with a roar, and the elements will be destroyed with intense heat, and the earth and its works will be burned up. As we look at our world, we often wonder, why is God waiting? And we generally know the reason. He is waiting for as many people as possible to come to repentance. 2 Peter 3:9, The Lord is not slow about his promise, as some count slowness, but is patient towards you, not wishing for any to perish, but for all to come to repentance. Romans 2:4, We know that the judgment of God rightly falls upon those who practice such things. But do you suppose this, O man, when you pass judgment on those who practice such things, and do the same yourself, that you will escape the judgment of God? Or do you think lightly of the riches of his kindness and tolerance and patience, not knowing that the kindness of God leads you to repentance. But because of your stubbornness and unrepentant heart, you are storing up wrath for yourself in the day of wrath and revelation of the righteous judgment of God, who will render to every person according to his deeds. Genesis 8:21, the Lord smelled the soothing aroma, and the Lord said to himself, I will never again curse the ground on account of man, for the intent of man's heart is evil from his youth, and I will never again destroy every living thing as I have done. While the earth remains, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. Genesis 9:1, and God blessed Noah and his sons and said to them, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth. By the time we get to Genesis 9:7, mankind will have received this command from the Lord no less than 4 times. 2 times to Adam and Eve, and 2 times to Noah and his family. This was evidently important to God. It was important to God because of the Imago Dei, the fact that man was made in the image of God. It was important not because God needed the fellowship of man as is all too frequently taught, but because as his image bearers, the more he can be seen, the more he is glorified. The fear of you and the terror of you will be on every beast of the earth and on every bird of the sky, with everything that creeps on the ground and all the fish of the sea. Into your hand they are given. Apparently, more changed on the ark than we were told. Points to ponder. By the time Noah opened the ark doors, there may well have been many more animals on board than boarded originally. Sadly, even the universal judgment of the flood did not cause mankind to change. Apparently, more changed on the ark than we are told. This class, and indeed the entire school, is dedicated to helping others see that God is bigger than we think and better than we know. To get to the next video, make a note of the class number for this recording, then search for the next one. Here is a sample. If this video is number L01.1, then the next one is L01.2. And remember to like and subscribe on YouTube and follow on Rumble.